Happy Monday. It's good to be in here this morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for another day, a new week, and just so grateful and thankful to be here. Thank you so much for your grace and your mercy and all of your kindness and blessings. And I just ask for wisdom and discernment as I go into the markets to make some executions. And I just ask that things go really well today. In your name we pray. Amen. And just start out with the news. So there's some things going on. Japan will act on foreign exchange matters in line with Japan-US joint statement. That was 10 hours ago. I don't think that's going to play too much into what's going to go on this morning. We've got core durable goods orders at 8:30 and durable goods orders monthly. Those might do a little something. We'll see. Those are orange folders. Something to be just cognizant of. And go over to MT5. And the starting balance for this morning is 10,037.64. I'm just, oops, take this off and clean up the charts here. So this is the daily. Pretty much all week just had a strong push, except for that one day last week. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, had that massive pullback day. But otherwise, this market's still pushing strong. Euro dollar, the euro is strong, and I just draw this level in. This is a really important level right where we're at. This 1.183 is a really strong level on the daily charts, and we've broken through today, and we're just hanging right up on that level right now. And just have to be really just careful to see and watch how it acts at this level. If it starts pushing and holding back below the 1.183, then we'll just have to be careful that it doesn't turn and head back down. But for now, this is definitely going to be probably going to still stay on the bullish side until we, yeah, okay, so here's the hour chart. There was that gap right at the start of the week, right in here, and we tried to fill it in the first couple hours, didn't quite do it. Then just in the middle of the night, we pretty much filled it. And then we bounced back up and we came back down now. So kind of an interesting spot to be at right now. Okay, well, let's go down into the smaller time frames. There's the 15-minute chart. What I'm starting to see is that we've got a down leg here. And I would say that if we come down to test that 1.183, that it's going to probably have to bounce up before it can smash through it. I don't know, that it could just float right through. But because we're having one down cycle right now on 15-minute chart, I'm thinking we should at least see some buying pressure before popping through, if not buying in continuation to the upside. So I'm going to buy this level and then just be cognizant of it, wanting to follow back through. Just be taking tiny little sips, 2 pips of profit, 3 pips of profit. And yeah, just be really careful as it gets to this level. And we'll find out during this session whether it's going to want to go through or if it's going to bounce once, twice, or maybe just take off. On the bullish side, we could be turning into a flag right now. In here, we could just see this. This pattern could easily turn into a strong flag, and with a leg that bounces off here and takes off to continue up, and that's definitely a possibility. But we'll just play the small time frames for now, one step at a time. Yep. Okay, so I had I'm gonna just get one trade in here. I placed a few trades last night. I'll pull up my trade history here. All through this section. This was the Tokyo Open. On here, lots of consolidation. So I started the week out with $10,005. So I made about $30 last night in here, which is good. And now let's see if we can add to that today. If you decide to follow along, make sure that you're in a simulated environment, unless you're trading within your own rules. Don't let me affect what you're doing. I mean, take what you see and apply it to yourself, but don't just do as I'm doing in a real account and without, putting your own safety precautions and having your own rules in place. The things that I do, I have my own rules, and when I'm performing, this is a operation, and I've done it many times, and I do the same thing over and over. And so it may not look like that to someone that's looking in, and I just want to make sure that if you're trading, that you're trading within your personal boundaries. All right, let's just go mark some more levels. You know what? Once it breaks that 1.183, it's just going to be, well, I guess we've got one little level. We've got a couple levels back over here. 5-minute chart. So these can, right in here, these levels can hold this market up. Right in here. And right in here. But those are quite a ways away from where it's trading right now. trade in down here, buy these dips. Until it's a little bit more than a dip. And when it extends past that 1.183, I'm going to call it a little bit more than a dip. We'll have to just be careful on the buying. Okay. So we wait. We should see some bouncing off that 1.183. I think I have to put that level back in. 1.1. No, it's still there. It's got another 4 or 5 pips to get down to it. And in 20 minutes, we'll see that news come in. We'll see if it does anything. There's one profit target. Oh, and a second one. Nice. Starting the session out with a couple wins. First 10 minutes. That's good. Okay, if it pulls back down, buy again. Here on the 1 minute level time frame, this is the new little support zone right here. So if I can get it back down onto that red line, I'll take another buy. I also just want to reiterate for anyone that is not familiar with the way that I'm trading, I have stop losses in place. They are 35 pips away and they are not designed to get hit. What I'm doing here is active risk management, and you'll see me take losses as the market comes back to me. My stop losses are in place only for an emergency. They are not designed to get hit, but they are there. finger on the trigger in case that market pops down. Just want to buy the pushes down. There we go. There's one. It's not quite on that red line I originally drawn, but I was seeing some higher highs coming in, so it might not get all the way down to that. It might not. We'll see. Oh, market is trying to, it's on that red line now. Let's see if it can push down to the next one or if it rebounds up from here. Don't really have enough capital to put another trade in at the moment. I need to get down to the next line before I build into another layer. And a wick on the bottom, that 1 minute candle. So if we can break the high of this candle, this would be the nadir candle and be the turning candle. So if it breaks the high of that candle, we could see it run to the upside. And a profit. Try to break it right now. If that candle can close above that high, should be good. Yep, just barely closed above the high, so it's a good chance to go hit that profit target. It should get there on this. Probably the next minute or two, it should get there. And if not, we'll just look for another spot to buy. As new data comes in, it may adjust this level. This may turn into another support level down here that we can buy from. Just missed the target. There we go. Just popped through it. Number 3 of today. We're in 20 minutes now. We've had 3 targets hit. It's not bad. It's a decent indication of volatility. So we'll just wait for a pop back down and we'll buy it again. And rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. I'm going to put a couple levels in up here just in case the market decides to shoot up. I may scalp off the top of it. Okay, here's the 600 level. That should play into be a factor in there. Then there's another level right in here for I would call that the 185 level. And then the 1855. It's another spot. Now, if it all depends on how it gets to these levels if I'm going to short, because my bias is to the upside. So it really depends on how it gets there. It's got to get there too quick. In my view, in my perspective, I gotta say, oh, it got there a little too quick, and I'm gonna short it. But if it doesn't get there too quick and it builds its strength nice and with symmetry, then probably won't short it. I'll just wait for the pullbacks to continue going long. So I'm just putting these markers here just in case it does shoot up. There's the 700 level that will play into account as well. So I'm just looking at all these things ahead of time and I'm pre-planning so that I'm already a step or two ahead of the market. So when it goes there, I'm not surprised, I'm just prepared. I'm just gonna give a word to my kids that are being a little rowdy right now. Be right back. Oh, good morning, Larry. Nice to have you in here. Yeah, currently I'm just shooting for 2 pips. There was a couple times last week when the market was just barely moving, and I shrunk my target down to 1 pip. But for the most part, just be shooting for 2 pips. How are you doing today? It's good to have you in here. And we're 5 minutes to the news. I know on Friday, it was super choppy, the recording, and I don't know if it was my end that was causing that. I'm not sure if we're getting some heavy chop now in the live. So, but I don't know what I'm gonna do if it gets too choppy again. I think it may have had something to do with my internet provider and our weather because we had extreme cold come in at the end on Friday. So I think we'll just see what happens today. Two minutes to the news. This is core durable goods. They definitely can be movers when those values are abnormal. A minute 30. And I probably will scalp these. The market pops up to one of these levels, I probably will just short it right before the news just because you just get a little volatility, even if it's just a little bouncing around before it takes off one way or another. So 1 minute to the news. But I will take the buy side. So if it drops down fairly aggressively, I'll be buying it. And I'm not going to be surprised when it drops. I try not to be surprised about anything that it does. Just take the information as it comes in and stick to the rules. 30 seconds. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0.5% for the dollar. It's favorable for the dollar. Oh, here's 5.3 on durable goods orders on monthly. That's really good. So we'll see if that pushes the market down. The good news on the dollar generally means a short on the euro dollar instrument. So, but it's not really, the initial response isn't really anything much, surprisingly. So I'm going to just start buying. It seems that people don't care that much. And I just wanted to make sure that my target was in below this high. So it's in a good spot. And then here on the 1 minute chart, we've got another new level coming in here. There'll be another layer to go long at right in there. And another profit target. Nice. And just a waiting game. You can see on the 1 minute chart here, the 2 pip target fit in here just right. So that tells me at the moment that the target value is at a good level. That 2 pips should get hit over and over the course of a few minutes. If things change, we may have to adjust. But for now, you can see over the course of 1, 2, 3 bars, we had an up leg, and that 2 pips easily fits in that up leg. So the 2 pip targets are good for now. But it only just fit in there, really. So it would be nice to start seeing some bigger. And there's a little dip right there. I'm going to buy that just because there's a little gap in that market, and when those things gap like that, they often fill, even on the 1 minute chart. See, there it is, it filled it immediately, and it's heading back up. So we'll see if that can move up to the target again. But you can see when those little gaps come in, they often get filled right away. Nice. There's a profit target, less than a minute again. That quick little signal on the 1 minute chart with that little gap was the perfect reason to get in this case. And then got us another 2 pips right away. Good trade. And now we've got another shape that I'm seeing come into the market right now. I don't know if anybody else can see this little inverse head and shoulders. I'm going to draw it in here. So we got the market coming down from here. And then here's the first shoulder. Oh. Right here. And then the market drops down again all the way down to here. And then here comes the second leg up to here. And then we had a pullback to create a new shoulder that's starting here. This doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the pattern, but we've seen this before a few times where we get a continuation like that. So we'll see. That pattern could just fall apart in the next few minutes, or it could follow through and turn into an up leg. But that's just what I'm seeing right now in real time. So on any other dip, I'm going to buy into this little pattern. And I'm going to buy right in there. The target comes in, but I'm going to just take the target off of this one in case it decides to continue. And then if the market just pops back down, I'll just leave my targets on and just work my way probably out of that trade. So if this pattern drops down from here, then the original pattern I was looking at just deteriorates and turns into something else, and that's totally fine. But if it just decides to shoot up, then the pattern is still good and will likely follow through. So next couple minutes, we should see what happens. It's just starting to break up. So maybe getting the pattern that I was looking at initially. And if it does, then we've got that one trade sitting on there to run up with it. And it's just about getting to that point where I would start to just secure it so that it doesn't turn into a loser. So I think if it can pop over that, okay, so it's at the 1.185 and it's bouncing right on that level. So I won't secure that until it gets above that 1.185. So we'll see. If it clears through that level, it should probably keep pushing pretty strong. I want to point something out here. We're going to do this little exercise together. This pattern over here on this side of the shoulder, I'm going to count the candles as to approximately how long it took. So it was here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 or 16 minutes to develop the shoulder on this side. So now over here on this side, we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're right at the time cycle where this market should either break through and form this little head and shoulders or deteriorate. But we're at the time cycle, so this trade pattern is either going to follow through or it's going to expire and turn into anything but that pattern. So we'll see what happens in real time as to whether it just decays or whether it fulfills the little head and shoulder. I'm just gonna double check that news again, just to see if there was anything else. No, there's nothing else for today. not in the schedule or on the calendar. So, and it seems like the pattern is falling apart. Well, it might be changing its mind in the last second here. Here's our first try to get over that 185. It just popped over it, came back in. So we'll see. And that candle is closing back down. It's trying again. This pattern isn't quite dead yet. See what the 5 minute chart looks like. It's a little bit messy for a shoulder. It's also getting hard to see with all these lines here. Oh, it's pulling back. Oh, it's going for it. There we go, above the 185. And there we go. It's pushing through. So I guess that pattern is just still holding. Okay, so I'm going to just secure that trade like this. So that will not be a losing trade anymore. And I will just forget about it for a while. And we're starting to break that shoulder, that neckline over here. And a close above. So that's a strong move to the upside, and it's creating more probability to continue. Bit of a messy shoulder, but it did turn into a shoulder type thing. So kind of right at the last second, it just kind of pulled itself back together. It looked for sure like it was falling apart. We're right at another level. Right here. See all this resistance right in here? It's just bumping right into it. And so when I get the opportunity on the 5 minute chart, okay, I can't really secure it yet on the 5 minute. I already have it secured. So when I get a new, so in the next 5 minutes, if this is still running in favor, then I'll find a new place to trail that trade up behind it. But still need another 5 minutes before I can do anything. So when this pulls back, I'll just buy it again. Buy it back on this level. If it pops down, it's another good spot to buy. Just get my finger on the trigger. Actually, this right over here, this shoulder, so it's coming right into the spot where we would want to see it, where we would expect a bounce. Just one run, little pop. There we go. And my target is just below the recent high. That's a decent little spot. And another target hit right away. Perfect. Nice execution. So today we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 for 6 this morning. And the targets are tuned in just right. See these little mini price cycles? They pull back and they pop and hit. Their targets pull back and they pop and hit. They're just tuned in just right for now. So that's good. I'm going to take the trade history off for now, just to make it a little bit cleaner. And the market is following through. We broke through the 1855 now. So we'll see if we can hold above there. If we hold above these, all these levels over here, we're looking much stronger to keep running. And it is doing that right now. Oh, you couldn't see when I was placing a trade, Larry? Okay. I wonder if maybe I was just switching scenes in my OBS. I'm running OBS to stream the YouTube video. So it could be maybe when I'm just switching between scenes, maybe. But you should be able to see my platform now. So you can see when I measured this price cycle back over here on this side of the pattern, it's pausing right at the same spot, the same size. We got a little bit of a longer one on the size. Okay, I'm gonna get ready to buy it in here. There we go, one more buy. And then if it pulls back more, we can buy again. But the price cycles are matching up nicely, and they're helping to determine when and how to get into the market again. So as we hit the end of this price cycle, we're expecting to see a little pullback before any continuation. That's exactly what it did. And another target hit. So another good placement, good trade placement. And we've got a 5-minute bar close. So I'm going to trail. I'm going to just zoom in here so you can see what I'm doing. And that one running trade, I'm going to just put that secured behind the last pivot on the 5-minute candle. So now when that market comes back down and hits that stop loss, that will be even more profit locked in. So either way, if it keeps going, we'll make more. If it goes down and hits that stop loss, we also make money. So we're in a really good spot to make money both sides. And our entries are on point right now, hitting targets within the first couple minutes, which is perfectly in sync for now. Just for now. It can change quickly. Hey Larry, did you try and open Alveo today? I tried opening it last night and my accounts were kind of like all over the place. I think maybe um, the development team is probably maybe taking some accounts out to fix and work on them at the moment. But I haven't tried opening mine this morning. You too. Okay, so were you missing some accounts? Yeah. Yeah, Brian has definitely got his hands full for sure. But Brian is a pretty capable guy too, so I'm sure he will resolve those issues. And I'm excited for when they do get resolved and we can trade that platform. Yeah, I think so too. I think a lot of people don't really, they just don't quite know how much he's working or how hard the effort and the time that he's putting in. I think people just don't know. But I agree with you too. So we're building a little consolidation phase right on this level, which is um, it should either pivot and turn down, or we'll see that pop up again. So I'm going to get in here with a little trade. Yeah, the target just fits in here. So it's a really tight consolidation, but that 2 pip trade just fits for now. And then we've got this new level coming in right on this last shoulder and this new pivot right in here. So this creates another little good spot for another entry. And it is breaking down. And I've got my finger on the trigger ready to buy again on that line. Right down here. The market tried to break down and it popped right back up into its consolidation zone. So this was the bottom of the consolidation. Popped through, gave the signal that it was turning and going to head down, and then just popped right back. So it's a false break to the downside, which should open up the door for an up leg for us. And then if it does, we've got our target in below these highs here. And the market just whipped and just missed our target. And now the market has almost completely engulfed that wick. So now the chances are really high that we'll go and hit that target in the next bar or two. Okay, so just missed the targets again. So if this pops down, I'm going to buy it and try and squeeze another trade into this consolidation. This is just one of those little phases where shrinking the take profit just a little is kind of a good idea. I'm going to drop. Well, actually, it's about to pop up right now. If it drops down, I'll add another little 1 pip scalp. Okay, so there's a take profit. Nice. And then I think we got a new candle. Yep, new candle on the 5-minute chart. So I'm going to trail up my other trade behind that pivot in there. And then just let that trade just keep riding. Nice. It's breaking higher. And we're currently making money in the consolidation as well as the bigger leg that's still running. So it's a super strong spot to be in right now. So that 1-minute candle is broken above these highs. So that's a strong signal to keep going. So if it pops down a little bit to that line, I'm going to just take another trade, another buy, and try to keep squeezing the profits out of the tops of this. I don't know if it's going to give me another opportunity or not. Okay, I'm gonna just take that buy right there. It's not. It's just it's just flickering on that line. So now it does need to make a new high to go and hit my target, but the signal's just really strong, so I'm okay with that trade right now. Right, if it ends up being a bit of a bad position, if I'm buying too high, I'll just deal with it later. Just wobble and work my way out of it. Larry, I've been shooting for kind of the 0.1 to 0.2 in our trading session. I've found that like I personally cannot have a goal because I start to expect an outcome for me personally. I don't want to influence you one side or the other because it's a really personal thing. But any time for me that I set a percentage goal, um, I start feeling like I need to hit it, and that feeling is worse for me than the goal itself. So I actually don't really have a percentage goal, but I will say that on average last week I was hitting between 0.1%, 0.2 is what I was getting. So I won't, again, I won't have any expectation whatsoever or goal whatsoever. I'll just trade for the next, what are we at now? Oh, it's 10 after 9, so I'll trade for the next probably 40 minutes, or if it keeps going really well, I might add another hour. and just go from there with no expectation. I just keep performing and operating exactly the same way for the next period of time that I'm in, and then just get what I get. And that way the market and the volatility is kind of what dictates the percentage or the outcome. So if it's a more active day, I'll just end up making a little higher percentage. If it's a little bit of a lower volatility, less movement, I'll just end up making a little bit less. But it is a good question, and it's something that I've worked on personally a lot in my trading career. One of the biggest lessons I learned at the end of 2025, I had a crash in my trading, and it was specifically due to expecting an outcome. And it was really a big crash, and it was a very emotional time finishing off the year that way. And so now I've said to myself, I will never expect an outcome ever again in my trading. It's one of the most important and critical lessons to learn for me. So if you can set a goal and not expect an outcome, then set your goal. That's great. But for me, I have a hard time setting a goal and not expecting an outcome. So for me, I just can't set a goal. And that is just a bit of trading psychology, and each person will have to figure that out for themselves. That is the difficult part of trading, finding the things that work for you and the things that just don't work for you. So I'm going to just clean off the chart here so I can see what's going on. It's just getting a little too crowded. Too much going on here. And in the trade history, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trades locked in for wins, and there's one trade that's still running. It's pretty good. Larry, do you find that you like to have a daily percentage goal? I'm just interested to see how you interact with that. Because I think for some people, it really is necessary to have that goal and hit it and stop. And I've been there lots of times, but for whatever reason, I personally just have such a hard time with it because I can't get it out of my mind of becoming an expectation. Okay, the market is just shrinking in here. So I'm going to drop one of my take profits down to the 1 pip again. And any little pullback, I'm going to see if I can squeeze some out of this little really small range. So I'll get one in here. And I'll just place one or two more and then just hold. I've got enough capital that I can go one or two more trades in this range. And actually, I'm going to just, if it drops down enough, I'll put my take profit back up to 2. I'm just trying this one for now to see if that fits in this current market condition. I'm just trying to adapt to the conditions I'm seeing right now and see if I can keep the income flowing. But I also have to be super careful not to start oversizing, because it's easy to do when you drop your take profit down like that. But I'm predefining what I'm allowing myself to trade in this range. And another profit target hit. You have a hard time also. I want to be in Rex's and Deb's class, but feel I really have to start over from the start. And I don't find a class for that with them, so I don't know what to do. Rex and Deb's class, is that where they trade the options together? Yeah, the motivation can be difficult for sure. Um, you just got to fight it though. You can say, even if you don't have the motivation, you do it anyway. If you set out to make this happen, then you just keep pressing forward, whether you feel the motivation or whether you don't feel the motivation. Sometimes it feels easier to go for it, sometimes it doesn't. And that is just hard, but just keep at it, Larry. Keep pushing forward, get a little bit better today than you were yesterday. And that's what you can focus on for now. It's really all you can do. Improve on something today. And there's another profit target hit. And this trade is still running too. We've got this running trade. So I'm going to move my target. I'm just going to pull up the 5-minute chart again. And I can put this up to here. So now we're just securing more profits on that little running trade. But on that topic of motivation, motivation comes and goes. But you can just choose to keep pressing forward. God is definitely at your side. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So your strength and your power comes from him. And if he's giving you power, then you can certainly keep going. If you're trying to do it on your own, you might be in a rough spot. But if you believe the word, then you know where your power comes from, and your strength and your energy. So coming into some new highs, or some highs that we were previously at, and this is a bit of a critical area. If it can break this level, well, I guess we got to get through the 1.165 is currently where we're at, and it's bumping into that. So if we can stay above that, then we have the 1.87, and that's really the last spot other than these little peaks over here. And then we've got Fridays. Oh no, sorry, this is today's high because the market gapped up and made a new high today. So we're pressing into those highs from earlier, and it seems like it's trying to just break and keep going. It's not doing it yet, but it sure looks like it's trying to. And just take those. Well, I'm just gonna double check how many we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 targets hit, and haven't had to take any losses yet. 10 targets hit today. I'm gonna just take off the trade history just so I can go back over that 5-minute chart and then see what was going on over here, because I had my trades all just clustering over here. Okay, so the 1.187 level, I would say, is that last line in the sand for those bears. If they want to hold down their positions, they got to hold it below that line. Otherwise, if it can start holding above it, looks like it's going to take off to me. That's from my perspective, and that's just because I'm seeing that flag pattern developing in here. This is becoming a pretty strong pattern right now, and you can see we've had 3 touches of the bottom part of that flag. So that is a really strong indication that we're going to move to the long side again. And I believe we're getting close to the 5-minute bar close. When that closes, if it closes above here, I'll secure this trade up more and lock in some more profit. And there we go. Bar closed. I'm going to secure it up just like that. And now on that running trade, locked in, 14 pips of profit on that one. That's nice. Yeah, Proverbs 3, 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own wisdom. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy ways. Solid passage. Thanks for sharing that, Larry. That's the truth. Okay, so I don't really want to buy up here. It's just getting a little too overextended for me to be buying. So it's going to have to pull back a little bit more. Or maybe just wait for it to continue further up and then wait for a pullback. So here's what I'm seeing. Like on the 1 minute chart and the 5 minute chart, we've got another extension right here. This is a really good spot for the market to just bounce and spin back around in here. So I don't want to really buy up here. But on the other hand, this market could just blow through that level and then fulfill this flag pattern. So I'm just watching that. And then if that flag pattern fulfills and this thing just busts up higher and keeps running, then we'll wait for some more pullbacks then and buy into it again. It'll be a really strong setup. So I just don't want to buy up here. Market's just going to have to show us its cards, reveal its hand. You can see the candles actually starting to flicker right now. The market is deciding whether it's going to go for that break higher or whether this thing turns down. So we're in a critical spot right now. Oh, and we're at the market open in just a minute and change. Stock market open. So this is just 1 more minute. And we'll see if we get a run right on the market open. We could. We might see that. You can see it's making it's deciding right now in real time. While it's doing that, I'm gonna just restart my MT5 because I've got some weird things going on my side. I don't know if it's on your guys' side. So I'm gonna just restart MT5. Okay, that looks better. All right, let's see. Are we gonna get a rip and a tear upward from here? I think it's going to. I think it's just strong. The pattern's strong. Volatility's good. I think we're going to see a big leg to the upside. But regardless of what I think, I still have my rules in place. And I could secure this right here on this trade, but it's so small, such a small candle. I'm gonna just allow it to have that breathing room to back to this candle, because that 1 5-minute candle is tiny. Like, it's very likely gonna break that low. It's 2 pips. So I'm gonna just hold on to this one for a sec. Okay, yeah, that 15-minute candle is super strong. So I guess this is where a little bit of discretion is coming in. Like, technically, I should secure this right behind that candle. But personally, I'm okay to give up a little bit of that profit for the chance to this to go higher and not tap out there, because it's such a small little spot. The chances are high it will tap out, but if it did turn down, you would be maximizing your profit. So it's just kind of give and take on that side. For me, I just would rather give it a little bit of breathing room and see if we can catch the bigger run. I'm just okay to give up that little bit of profit. There's plenty of profit in that leg right now in that trade. So just give it some breathing room, see what happens. If it comes back down, I'll still just get into more buys. But I think I don't really, we're going to need some more data in here for me to buy up here. I just still don't want to buy up here. So just wait and see. Here we go. It's popping up again. So now that it's broken higher, I'm going to move um, my stop loss up behind that 5-minute candle that I was originally supposed to. Um, then if it comes back down, there's a high chance it will break that and then crash down. So I want to make sure I lock and secure that in. But otherwise, it is free to just keep going. Yeah, it's just making all these new highs now. So here we are. Um, we're above all these highs right in here. That is the 1.187 on the dot. And I'm gonna put my variables back into my trading on the MT5. 35 pip stop losses. Two pip take profit. Super close to tapping us out. What's it gonna do? didn't quite tap us out on that one. Just being careful not to buy high. Oh wow, reversal right back up. Got an engulfing candle on the 1 minute chart right now. So that's a really strong pattern to keep going. Super strong pattern. At this point, I want to see a bigger leg upward before I start waiting for the pullbacks to go long. It's just at such a level right now where if it starts to pull back, it could turn into like a 15-minute turn and head back down. So it's just a level I just got to be careful with at the moment. I'm going to pull up 15. There, the 15-minute allows us to see what's going on right over here. And this is just really tempting this bull flag. I shouldn't, it's just a flag. I shouldn't really call it necessarily which way it's going. But oh yeah, you can see in the 15-minute chart as it broke that trend line, it started to break and then bounced down a bit, and then just that trend line became support and it launched off of that. Here's the 1 hour chart. Yeah, this 187 level is a very important level. If it can bust through there, this is in really good shape to keep running. And the longer the market spends up here, the higher the chance it's going to just keep going. So as it keeps spending this time, it's gathering up buyers, gathering buying pressure behind it. It's getting tempted to just try and trade in this consolidation. I'm gonna buy. Oh man, I just feel like as soon as I buy, it's just gonna shoot down. I don't know. I don't know what's next. I gotta buy it. And the trade fits inside the consolidation well, so we'll just see what happens. And another target hit. Good trade placement. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 trades, and haven't had to take any losses yet. And it looks like we're going to try and go for another break higher. Yeah, breaking those 1 minute highs right now, holding above that 1.87 level and creating a much longer term trigger for people on the 1 hour chart. I'll pull up that hour chart right now. Get rid of that trade history. And you can see on the 1 hour chart, we're clearing all these highs in here. All these highs are getting broken now. So that's going to be triggering people on the 1 hour chart now to start going long. So to me, I see this as this trade setup is just getting started here on the 1 hour chart, and we could be looking at a big bull run if it follows through. I don't know what's next. I'm not saying it's going to go up, but I'm just seeing what's currently happening right now. And I think because this trade, the running trade is just still going well, I can I'll leave the stop loss where it's at. It's just this is the 15-minute chart now, and it just leaves a good amount of room, good breathing room for it to just turn into a much longer term trade. So I'm probably going to start trailing behind the 15-minute bars on this setup as it just keeps growing in favor. So I'm just going to be slower to move my stop loss up. And if I can capture an even bigger trade, that will just become such a valuable runner. So I'll go back down here, down to the 1 minute chart. Yeah, you can, there's just so much pressure right now to the upside. So much, so many bulls behind this. This is indicative of, I think, follow through and continuation. There's a lot of volatility. There's a lot of people. These candles are flickering and they just keep pressing and pressing. And that tells me I think we're just going to see an even stronger up leg. But I gotta wait for it to move away from where it's at now before I can do anything else. And we've got 1 minute candles that are all closing above that 1.187. So if this pulls back enough, a little bit more, I'll just start buying into it. But I'm going to just buy really slowly and carefully. Okay, right here. because I'm buying high. So because I'm buying high, I have to buy super lightly. And another target hit. Just on a roll this morning. Just still pressing upward. And it just looks like it's gaining momentum. It's accelerating. It's pretty wild conditions right now to watch this happening in real time. There's just so many bulls behind this. And as it keeps leaning into this, it's just triggering the longer time frames to start also getting in. Oh, let's pull up the 4 hour, see what's happening there. Yeah, you can see, pardon me, on the 4 hour chart, we've got some wicks on the downside on these candles, and we've broken those highs. We've broken the last couple 4 hour candles, so that's going to be triggering people on the 4 hour chart to be going long. And we just have that last tiny high to get past on the 4 hour chart, which is, I'm going to just pull it back up on the 15 right over here. That's like the last ditch effort, really, before we've got smooth sailing to today's high. From there to there, that's another 20 pips. And we're on it. They were just breaking it right now. There we go. So I just placed another long, and my target comes in before the new high. So it's a good target. All it needs to do is try the old high, and it will get us out of that target. Any more pullback, and I'll just keep buying. Gonna buy that. That's a little bit early. But it's just also super strong market. I'm gonna buy this one and I'm gonna remove it, take profit on that one. In most circumstances, I would not be buying here because it's so high. Like it's overextended on the 1 minute chart. But because all those longer term signals are all triggering and firing, I know that there's big buyers all behind this now. And so I'm essentially buying high with it. But I usually would not be buying on a market that's that overextended on the short term. So it's just the time and place right now where it's still a decent probability to keep going up. And just a couple minutes away from the top of the hour. So I'm gonna have a look at the 1 hour candle to see how we're closing in just a minute. Creating a turning candle here on the 1 minute chart. If it can hold above this high, there's a good chance we'll hit some targets. Another target hit. I'm going to secure my bottom trade position so that it's free and I don't have to worry about it. That's fine. If it goes down and taps it, that's fine. You just stop out for a break even. Okay, that bar closed with the trigger on the 1 minute chart with the turn to the upside. And we're just in the last minute. And there's another target hit. We're in a really good spot. Just free. Now we got another free trade running. And that is when you've got markets like this and you can build into more free trades along the way, it's a really strong technique to use. So as that 1 hour candle closes, we're going to look at that, and then there it is. So the 1 hour candle closed above all these highs. This is a super strong reason for all the longer term traders to get long. So we're just in such a strong setup right now, and that will allow more good opportunities for going long. So I'm gonna keep running into this next hour for a little bit. Maybe not the whole hour, but I'm gonna run into this hour and keep trading because it's such a strong. Thanks for stopping in today, Larry. It was super nice to have you. Hope that you guys have a really good rest of your day. Hopefully I'll see you again too. So that one little running trade just tapped out, which is fine. I'll probably look for another reason to go. Oh, see the volatility, that candle flickering so much. I'm gonna just buy into this. I gotta be careful not to get too crazy here, but I'm gonna just take one of those, take profits off again. My gut is working here. My gut says we're gonna see even more buying pressure come in strong, but this is a gut feeling right now. It's a heads up. It's a gut feeling. Gonna buy. One more buy here. I'm doing this because I'm seeing this as a really strong market. And I'll just have to hold. If the market breaks back down, I'll just pause and hold, and then I'll buy again lower. Bought again down here, so if the market comes back up to these trades, I'll probably just take those off for break even just to shave off the risk again. I just want to keep shifting my entry lower. If I can keep my break even point lower, I want to keep doing that. So this is a technique I've used many times. I don't have the target sitting on this one right now, but I'm doing that because it's such a strong bullish market. And the market is creating a 3-bar reversal on the 1-minute chart. Back in favor. And it just barely confirmed. The close did just close technically above the 3-bar reversal trigger, which was right on this high of that candle. And then so because I don't have take profits on these, I'm going to shave off some of the risk by taking some break evens or little losses on these upper trades. And then I will try and secure these bottom trades in. But my rule is when I do this type of thing, I can't let this trade turn into a loser if I get the opportunity for it to be a winner. So as soon as it gets up there, I'll just take these little losses or break evens, and then I'll start to take some profits on this layer as well if I get that opportunity. It's just my rule is when that opportunity shows up, I've got to either take profits or some losses up here. That's just my rule, and I always do it. So now we've got these highs all sitting in here that we're going to have to break through to go to the upper side, the high side. And you can see the volatility. These candles are flickering a lot. That means there's a lot of participants. It's a high volume indication. So there's our line that we've got to get over in order to break to the higher side. It's got to hold above that line. And you can see it's just pressing up into it. It's wedging into it right now. And we've seen the flickering in that last candle, so it's a really high chance that we can head up again through that little red line. Or it could pop down pretty hard too. But we should see a pretty strong move out of this zone that it's in right now. It should move pretty strong when it does. And another high where it just didn't break. So that line is becoming a tough spot to get through. Right now, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 highs lining up on that spot. So the market's going to try another shot, and if and when it does, it should break pretty strong. It's had 5 attempts. This is going to be, if it can come up here again, that's number 6. Still not yet. It's wrestling. Here we go. Attempt number 6. We're on the highs, pressing through. Let's see if we get a strong candle here. Lots of flickering. Wow. It is. It's a real tug of war. And it closes back below. Wow. Very interesting. So we've got to close below that high. It just opens the door for it to have a little leg down. Will the bears get their shot down? That's the question. Oh, and it doesn't break again. 6 now. I've had 7 attempts. It's got the opportunity to run to the downside because it had a rejection to the upside. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Oh, that's really 8. That was the 8th attempt. Huh. Okay. Gonna go for a 9th attempt here. It does not usually, with the volume of people in here and the activity, it's unusual for it to have not broken either up or down at this point. So The more it stays in this spot with all these people, the bigger the candle is going to be when it comes in. So, okay, it didn't break again. So it's had 9 candles and an attempt to break. Nine tries. Here's the 10th shot. It's got to go on this shot. It's got to. 10th try. Wow. Yeah, look at the flickering. 10th candle can't do it. Wow. Well, this is very interesting. After watching markets for so long, this is a pretty unusual uh, type of consolidation for it to not have broken one way or the other. So it is quite the battle between the bears and the bulls right here. 10, 10 tries. And it's going to go and try to go to the downside. And it's not moving to the downside. Will it go on the 12th candle? Gonna try and head down. Man, I could have been making little profits in there. Just so was not expecting that. Making its leg to the downside. Well, doors open for the downside now. And just add one little buy in here. Oh, it doesn't quite, my target doesn't quite fit. I gotta be careful I don't add anymore. That's just getting a little too heavy. So I will just, if that one pops up into profit, back into those highs, I'll take it before it tries to break. But if this has a leg down from here, it could be a lofty one. So there's the high in there. So I'm just going to take a small profit on that one. And then I also want to just shave off a little risk. Well, no, it's okay. I'll just let that sit. It's pressing right back in again. We should see a pop here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're on the 14th shot. Wow, 14th shot can't do it. Crazy. Well, we do it on the 15th candle. Okay, this one has now made new highs. It is really trying to break here. Candle 15. Will you go? Expect a big candle. I'm not saying which way, but when it consolidates like this, it's going to have a big candle one way or another. Oh, I just added another one. I got to be careful when I'm doing that. That was another rejection to the top side. That's the signal's open for the bears to come in. Unreal. I can't believe it didn't go. $15 tries. Um, yeah, wow. Crazy. So if this one little trade pops up, I'll take, well, actually that profit target's okay there. It's just this consolidation's now becoming a bit of a messy spot. I want to be sure to lock in profits on uh, okay. There's a turn on the 1 minute chart heading back in favor now. It looks like it's going to have another try, another shot to break up right in here. Just take the profit off that little one. Right there. Oh, there we go. Hitting the target again. Okay, now it's got its opportunity. Will we see that big candle come in? Oh, and it closes lower. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 tries. 16, 17 on the 18th candle. Okay, so any opportunity that I can get to break even on these, I gotta shave them off. which I'm just missing it. Oh, it's a strong 1 minute candle. There's the break. This thing should run now for at least a candle or two. I'm gonna take profits on the upper ones. This one little profit. Take another little profit there. And I'm going to take this last profit on that, and then I'm going to just secure these. Each individual one, I'm just going to secure it, just so I don't have to worry about them. At some point in here, we should see a really strong 5 minute bar, 15 minute bar. Here we go. Strong close in the 1 minute bar, leaning hard into these highs. It's a good chance it's going to follow through and see a much bigger move. And now on the 1 minute chart, I'm going to just move these trades, secure them up higher, lock in more profits under that pivot. And you can see that the equity is starting to climb quicker now. So I've got these 3 trades running in favor. So we're shaping up to make a much higher daily return today, which is cool. I have no expectation. We'll just get what we get. And I'm going to just go over this section here because I kind of did it quickly, just in a few minutes. I sized up a lot more on this pullback. And so I'm running a little bit heavier position size just because of the way that 1 hour pattern was shaping up. The 1 hour chart is, I'm actually going to pull up the 1 hour right now. That 1 hour candle closed above all these highs. And that's a super strong signal for all those 1 hour, 4 hour traders to come into the market. And so I sized up heavier on that pullback on the 1 minute chart. So in the short time frame, I went in heavy to position myself for this leg up on the longer term. And so I'm still doing that. I'm actually going to buy that too right there. So now I've got all those trades fully locked in and secured. they're free trades, and now I can just forget about them if I want, and I can just focus on what I'm doing here on the 1 minute chart now. And another profit target. Awesome. Well, this has just been a strong bull leg. Super strong. And now on the, so what, how long is that? So we found the bottom pretty much of this leg that is still running. We're in the 47 pip range. So now on the 5 minute chart, as these as that 5 minute bar closes, I will secure these trades up higher. But I just also want to reiterate that there's a lot of rules behind what I'm doing, and it's not random. So if you're a little bit newer to trading, I'm doing a lot of things at once, and I do not recommend trying to do a lot at once. They can get very tricky and become confusing, and especially when you're trying to cement muscle memory and actions, you don't really want to be doing a lot at once. You want to just be cementing a couple actions that you do. For me, I've done this many times, and so I'm doing what I always do, but I just also want to point out it's a lot of things that are all going on at the same time. Okay, less than a minute till this 5 minute bar will close. And it's pushing up again. There's a 5 minute bar close, so I'm going to shimmy all these stop losses up. 2 and 3. Those are all locked in behind that 5 minute bar. And now I'm even going to move that. Oh, I need to move the 15 minute. Okay, so I can't really move this trade yet. That one has to turn into a 15 minute bar to close. So another 10 minutes before I can, well, I can move this one up behind these pivots right here. And I'm just going to clear the charts again. It's getting a little bit confusing. Objects list, and just get rid of everything. And so it's getting to that time in the day where I'm trying to get out of my positions. So from this point forward in our session, I'm not likely going to put on more risk as much as I'm going to just secure the trades that I have. Because my rule is is to be done by 11 Eastern. And so I don't want to be starting new trade setups right at the end of my trading time. So I'm just being cognizant of the time right now, almost at 10:40. And so rather than adding risk, I'm going to be looking to scale out of my risk. But if this market keeps running, I'm going to just keep trailing this trade up. That's for sure. Such a strong market, such a strong bull market. So let's look at what could happen from now. I want to just measure some of these legs on the 15-minute chart. In this consolidation through the night, we had that leg, and we had this leg. Well, here's a leg here, and then we had another leg in the market here. So there's like three average little legs, and then there's like a couple smaller ones in here. Oh, get back on there. So I'm gonna just draw that one in. That one was 70 pips to there, and then it pulled back. And then it kept going all the way up to here. That was through Friday and into last night. So that's a massive leg. And what we're seeing is this is expanding momentum. It's accelerating. So we had a leg this of this length and of this time. Then we had a stronger leg and of shorter time. So now we've got this bull flag pattern coming in, and we've got it all triggering and all firing right now. So we could see another one of these legs come out of this bull pattern. This is just how I look at what the potential things could be. So that was a 70 pip run on that first leg. And then if we go look over here, that leg was 120 pips. And so we're accelerating out of this bull flag right now. And we could see a 70 to 100 pip, maybe even more pip run as we exit this bull flag. So I will be probably slow to exit, and if this does decide to keep running, I'm probably not gonna stay with you guys for the end of it, but I will let you know, like when I do leave, that I'll just be securing these trades behind candles as they go. So now this current leg, this leg that we got going here is now 50 pips. So as it reaches the high back over here, it should act as some resistance, but it's not a whole lot, so it could keep going from there. Here's a pullback on the 1 minute chart. I'm not going to get into it. But if I were going to keep trading, it's probably a good, you could probably start to go long with it. But it, on the other hand, it's run quite a ways, and it's heading into that high where it could have a bigger pullback. So I'm just not so sure what to do with it now, other than just keep locking in the profit that I have and be super grateful for it. Today's a really good day. Okay, so I'm just going to secure this layer up. Behind this candle. I really should probably go. Well, as the market goes back up, I will just secure it there too. Okay. I'm going to secure it here. This is what I'm really supposed to secure it. So. Yeah, wow. Crazy. It's going to keep pushing. So lock this trade in behind there. Just locked in more profit. Wow, making new highs. It is so strong. Just hitting the 189 level right now. And is that... yeah, we're just getting close to the high from today. We're right on that 1-8. That 1-8 or 1-9 is right. We're approaching it. That's where it. And we're just about 10 minutes from the top of the hour. And the market is still pushing. So it is kind of difficult for me to lock in or to say how much position I've locked in for profits, like with the stop losses where they're at, because all of my positions are in profit. It's really tricky to go and calculate exactly how much percentage we've gained today. So what I am gonna do is I'm gonna just take the balance is at $50, so 10,050.35, and we started at 1037. What was it? 64. Oops. And so we've actually booked $12, and then so divide that by 10, 37.64 times 100. So that puts us at 0.12%. Just making sure I'm on the right scene here so you can see. So I've actually locked in 0.12% with what we've already put in to the account. But with our trades running and their stop losses are all in wins, I'm going to say that we've locked in over 0.5% today. So absolutely super strong position to be in, and with the potential for the market to keep going. So I'm not going to keep you guys a whole